money working is a heavily abused sentence, right? It's like Jerry Seinfeld was talking about this, and why? Can you tell me why? Because it fails. It fails so many times, even the attempts that they are not failing, and you get some money from the system, it's still failing you in your fantasy and your idea of what it should be. So let's do our math and try to figure out what is the idea and what is the lacking parts, why it was failing, and why we succeeded to do 60 million, and why we grew so much. So first of all, what people are looking for in breakthrough financial opportunities is returns, is profits, right? So when we talk about profits, is it interesting for you to get 5%? Not really. If you're talking about savings and making your saving safe, of course, 5% is nice. Even 3% is nice. But if you're talking about breakthrough, about something interesting, how much do you want? You're thinking about 100. You're thinking about plus, right? This is what can make it interesting. But I tell you more. People that think about financial opportunities usually think about quick win, right? I want 100% today, right? What's wrong with that? Because it's wrong thinking. You cannot force the world to give you $100 today. You cannot force the world to give you 100%. So, what I want to talk to you about is our way of thinking about breakthrough financial opportunity. We start with definition of what is high opportunity investment. And this is like my school, like when I was a professor. I would like you now to really focus. 5 minutes of true focus. High opportunity investments. We know that there is no such thing as high returns, profits, without high risk, right? I hope everybody knows. There is no free cheese, But when people think about high risk, high return, as I said, most of our minds go to the short term. Even the year of investment, we collapse it into one event. We're thinking, in 1 year, we will be richer. In 1 year, we will be bigger. What we forget about, it's an element of time. And it's extremely important. Time is probability. It's much easier to create something where you have smaller returns. They bring you to final big return, big profit. So what I want you to remember is when you look at high opportunity, you're looking at triangular. If you look only at high return and high risk, it will collapse. Just think about it this way. Just if you have this line, it will collapse on you. Why? Because it's not sustainable. You cannot force things to work this way. You need probability. By adding dimension of time, you're basically getting where you can get the sustainability. Now, I know that probability is one of the hardest concepts for human beings. And why is that? Because we know what is 0 probability. It's not happening, right? We know what is 100 probability. It means that it will happen. And we know what is 50-50. You're throwing the coin and you get one on another. This we get. The rest of the numbers for us mean 0. It's not something that we can feel. It's not something that we can understand and know. So how do we do that? We calculate it. There is a science of statistics that helps us calculate it. And we, as human beings, unfortunately, have to rely on science to calculate it for us. So when I say high probability, think about it in this way. You need mathematical tools, you need scientists, you need professionals that know how to calculate probability for you. Not for single event, but for series of events. Now, what happens in our fintech world? Why you experience so many scams? Because it's easy to fool you. It's easy to show you something that is working while it's not. So let's go further and try to understand the next concept, why we're all here. Yes. When we're looking at the best in the world investment opportunities, before that, it was stock market, right? Stock market promised you 20% of income. What it means that in 10 years, if you invest $1,000, how much will you get after 10 years? I did it myself, I calculated. And with taxes, I put 25% just to be fair to our, varied community of different countries. 25% is taxes plus 1% fee. We will get to 2.9 over the investment, meaning $2,900. Is it life-changing in 10 years from 1,000 to receive this one? So this was calculated at the most profitable and successful. And when people talk to me, they usually say, forget about what you do. I'm okay with 20%. Why do you do 100? Why do you care about 100? And till recently, I was not able to answer it. And then I made the math. And then I said to myself, that's why. Because it will not change anything to anyone that I know. Again, it's a nice vehicle for savings. Don't understand me wrong. It's great for savings, but not to change our life. So I said, okay, interesting. What is the number that is really the life-changing number? And we started to do the poll between our clients to figure this number. Now you can do a little bit of, internal game with yourself. How it calculated? It's 402. I'll explain you why. Just think for yourself. You are the person that has the salary, right? Have a little bit in savings because you're just starting. Let's say you're 30 years old, right? So, for example, $1,000 is a significant investment for you. It's not something that you lightly can throw into something that you know it's risk capital. What is risk capital? This is very important. I hope everybody saw my video on risk capital, on the disclaimers. And this I will say right now up front. Everyone in this room, I really ask to watch this video and to deliver it further to every client and every partner. Please be aware that the risk capital that people should invest is the only capital that they internally can lose. It's not your pension fund. It's not something that you put to your client's to your child education. It's not even your next family vacation. It's something that you're okay to lose. So it will not affect your well-being. But if you have the 1,000 and you're ready to risk it, this is what will make the change in your life. $400,000 will allow you to treat your financial life differently. I'm not talking here of becoming billionaires. I'm not talking becoming even multimillionaires, because this is just a dream. This is the reality. You want, in 10 years, to change your life financially. So 400 times is what we call breakthrough financial opportunity. How can we reach it? So we made the calculation. Important element. You put the money, you wait for some time, you need to give it a time because there is no miracles in this world. It's just, again, in this case, I want to be very clear, you need to exercise some new style of investment. You need to wait. You need to put money to work for time. And the condition is that you use high opportunity investment, not the gambling, not the other potential ways to gain the money, but the high opportunity investment that we right now will figure out what exactly it is. And you get your breakthrough financial opportunity. And then in 10 years, you can buy a house. And then you can do things with your family. This will change your life. So now, the last part that we need to figure out is what is your high opportunity? How do you calculate it? How do you check that you're actually going into high opportunity and not to in the new scam story or something that you're not sure about, okay? First of all, the risk has to be less than 50%. It immediately will cut many, many opportunities that you're going into. Because we, again, as a people, we are very, it's like Jeremy, right? We're jumping into opportunities. We're jumping, at the beginning we're saying, no, it's too risky into this, and then we say, oh, who cares, right? So this is not high opportunity. If it's more than 50%, it's very hard to come back to, even during 10 years, it will very, very hard back to the potential profit. When I speak about risk, I mean potential loss within a year. We have 10 years to try, potential loss within a single year. More than 50%, it's very hard to come back from. High return, this is the fun stuff. It's exact number of how much you need to gain annually in order to get to 402%. This number is based on the fact that for high returns, you will need to pay a fee to any hedge fund, to any company that works with you on the profits, right? And you need to pay taxes. So you need to get 137% from the system to pay taxes, to pay fees, and then you will get to the results. So when you're checking the opportunity, check that they have more than 137 annually. And high probability, okay, so here is again the story. You need to find and to need to read about the fact that they understand what is the high probability for them. Do they think about probability, how they define it? So we're done with hard stuff, now we can relax, now it's fun. So again, you want to give yourself, you want to teach your kids that there is a breakthrough financial opportunities now in the world, and we are EndoTech at the first company that's doing it. That you, as 20 years old, need to put some money to work for you. You, as a 30 years old, need to put some money to work for you. And this way, there is a chance, again, there is no guarantee ever, but there is a very high chance that it will work for you. We all know roulette, right? Putting black and red on roulette. And then let's do it for 10 years, right? Is it a high opportunity? So let's see how you can check that it's not. Is it 50% or less? No, every time you're putting your dollar, you can lose it, right? So then you have no money to proceed. Is it a high return? It's almost there because it's like it's 200, if you calculate this, it's almost there. But is it a high probability? Is it more than 85%? It's 50-50, and even a little bit less because of the green, right? Because of the zero. So roulette is not high opportunity. You will not be able, as a gambler, to get to the story. So this is a very useful tool for you to check when you're getting into something, whether it's something for the long term and you can really rely on it, or it's something that you do for fun. Another one, lots of time I'm being called to put money into lottery. And then the next question I ask them, do you know that I love statistics and understand statistics? And they're still trying to convince me, no, with us, if you buy these tickets and you do this and you do this, you have a chance. So let's check. High risk, right? Because you're putting your dollar, it can go away. Almost 100%. When I'm saying 100, it's almost 100, right? Return can be amazing. It's like, for this return we dream. But the probability is so little that year after year, it doesn't matter how much you invest, no chance. So the lottery is not high opportunity. But there are guys that are offering high opportunity. And I want to talk about this specific one. How many of you know this Renaissance Medallion Fund? The first floor, because I told you about that, right? Not you, but yeah, perfect. So this is a story, and I do invite you to read this book about the founder. They did year after year for 32 years average of 66% annually. Just think about this. It was before the huge uptake of Bitcoin. It was before that our lives started to speed up and things started to speed up on the growth. It was before. And he made, with purely algorithmic trading, he made 66% every year for 32 years, on average, but for 32 years. Yeah, 33, yeah, 32, 33. So what does it teach us? This is the phrase of my brother. What does it teach us? That it's possible. It's possible, but what is the difference between what we do and what he did? The difference is that he took a very small club of his employees and friends and created whopping $100 billion. Just think, $100 billion if we do the same, but not in 30 years, but in 10 years, how many people we can make change their lives. This is our mission. This is our mission as EndoTech, to get to the story for you, to get to the story for our network. We want, within the next 10 years, to create the wealth of $100 billion for our clients. I know.